Welcome back to another rebuild here on Madden 24, and today it's going to be the Arizona Cardinals. I'm kind of finally tackling some of the harder teams in Madden. Of course, you can almost argue that this is the hardest team rather than one of the hardest teams. It's kind of hard to judge because Kyler Murray is here. He's obviously far from his superstar self that he used to be, and he is 26, but I still think we can turn it around for him, whereas, the other team that you would think of as the worst would be the Rams, and you can't really turn it around for Stafford. He's too old in the game, and even though he's playing really well in real life, there's nothing in place for them to, keep him going for a couple of seasons. Starting with the Rams, it's a GG. It's a GG automatically. You can't fix Stafford unless you manually do it, which people feel a whole certain type of way with that. I'm going to be moving Michael Wilson up. He's actually seemingly had a good season, and obviously he is a 6'2 receiver. The other two are very small, especially Rondale. He is insanely short, and I guess he's injured because he doesn't seem like he's having a great season. Marquise Brown has always been serviceable. Is he a true number one? I mean, maybe, kind of. I mean, he's definitely good. He's like mini, I wouldn't say mini in size, but like mini Brandon Cooks, kind of, in a way. But looking at the O-line, kind of a disaster. There's a couple of guys that are doing well, but overall, kind of a disaster. Trey McBride, I'm a little surprised he's not a higher overall, but 75 overall star. It's an improvement compared to what he used to be. I also feel like that's a downgrade recently, no? I thought he was like a 77 star. I don't even know. James Conner, I don't know how he's normal. He's been pretty consistently like slightly above average, and I mean, it's good to see that he has a team that actually like values him, right? Like the Steelers got rid of him like immediately, and then the Cardinals come around and they're like, we're going to keep you forever. And now they say that he's going to probably be gone. Defense, this is really the main reason why they're losing games, if we're going to be honest. I can't say that because obviously it's hard to tell based on, just defensive numbers. I haven't really watched them that much. I don't know how many short drives they've had on offense. Obviously, Kyler Murray's been, out for so long, and it could just be the defense is being asked to do too much, but they have given up a lot of points, and their run defense in general is pretty bad. This team had their edge rushers set up at linebacker. I don't know if they're supposed to be a 3-4, but they felt a little bit more equipped to play 4-3, so that's what I have them doing. I know Papo doesn't really play in real life, but I'm just going to start him to see if we can develop him. Zaven Collins and Kaiser White, not bad at all. As far as Madden goes, though, Kaiser White might be a little bit too old to develop, as he is 27, so a lot of positions to look to replace. Safeties, I think we might be fine with. I know they've been kind of talking about potentially trading Budda Baker. They're in a team that's, it's obviously in rebuild mode, right? So obviously it's a team that is trying to get as much for any of their players they can, and obviously Budda Baker's age isn't a problem, but if you think, unless they get really lucky in the draft, this could be several years from a, kind of complete roster, several being, out of range for Budda Baker to be in his prime, perhaps. Who knows? So get value while you can now. Maybe. So we'll see. Maybe we explore an option to trade him as well. I'm not 100% sure. We'll see. Obviously, Thompson's decently young, and then the corners are really young, and they've been okay. But yeah, this is a squad that is missing a lot of starters, and we're going to try and see if we can make it a Super Bowl team. We also had a mentor rookie in week 2 of the preseason, pass block finesse +3. And Ojulari with a camp standout. Obviously, pass rusher. We don't want to change that archetype. And obviously, his pass rush ratings need the most work, I'd imagine. And Paris Johnson gets 2,500 XP. Roll out the red carpet, baby. Cameron Thomas is star dev, and he gets a massive 20,000 XP. It's been a while since we've seen the 20K. It's usually like 5, if we're really lucky, 10. But 20K is crazy. +3, obviously not the highest overall as is, but that should probably get him to 80 power move, which is, super great. That could be a +3, and it is easily to 80 power move unless he gets really unlucky here. Gotta love those singular upgrades, because 9 times out of 10, you're going to get that +2, +3 to your main attribute as listed. Now 83 power move. That's even better than I thought. Let's see who needs to get paid. Marquise Brown does. I think you kind of have to keep him. Chris Barnes is playing pretty well, and you know what? For that money, that's not bad backup money. We may replace him, but for backup money, that's not terrible. And then Zaven Collins, 5th-year option. Because he's playing outside linebacker and EA thinks all outside linebackers are edge rushers, that might actually be a steal if he's on round 10 or less, because it says 6.5, but that's definitely going to change. And then obviously we'll get the punter, Gillikin. I almost always sign him when he's a free agent, so it'd be pretty stupid if I do the thing that they always do, which is let him go. And speaking of letting things go, I hope that I don't let you go after this video, and maybe subscribe. Maybe leave a like on the video if you end up enjoying it. I mean, it's a little early to be deciding whether you think it's good or not, so, you know, I'll give you a little bit, I suppose. But man, I still don't know what it is with this team that just loves these tiny receivers. It's crazy. Like, if you're entering the league as like a 5'9" or less wide receiver, just be prepared to go to Arizona. All right, to the playoffs, which we are, clearly not in, which is interesting because, we're going to be maybe the number 1 overall pick. Do you not, take QB? Oh, pick 2. But the Panthers don't need QB, so it's like a team may trade up with them if that was real life, but edge rusher could be great too. I don't really know, but I think we can rock with Kyler. We'll see what happened after he returned for that Falcons and beyond game. Obviously, didn't win. We won 1 game, which was against the Niners, in fairness. Right after him returning, obviously he had that game against the Falcons, but as far as sim goes, it's something. It's definitely something. Clayton Tune, looking at Murray, not much better. And then rushing, James Conner playing worse than real life here. Wide receivers, Marquise Brown was our primary guy. He had the most yards per catch, but just didn't have as many catches as Michael Wilson, and it was just a kind of a disaster. It could also be the Cardinals' scheme, though. Zaven Collins should be a dev-up guy. Papao, because he's normal, should be a dev-up guy. Interceptions, had a couple. Maybe Marco Wilson gets a dev-up. Prater was alright, but he's really old. Gillikin had 2 punts blocked, which is just ridiculous. Kick return, punt return game didn't really exist. Any rookie awards, maybe, because I don't think we would have had any, legit awards. I say it it's not legit if you get it as a rookie, but, yeah, it's just we didn't really play that well at really any front, so I wouldn't expect it. Maybe, Zaven, but obviously he didn't win it. Unless he did win Best Linebacker, and I kind of zoomed through there a little bit. I just kind of didn't think we had a season that was good by really anyone. But remembering, Zaven Collins was pretty good, actually. The winner of the Super Bowl between the Cowboys and Chiefs is the Cowboys. Any dev-ups? Really hoping for a miracle dev-up on Wilson. Damn. No miracles could be performed today. And then defensively, Zaven Collins does go up in dev, and Marco Wilson does go up in dev, and Baker goes up in dev, which is probably the biggest of them all because he's now 28. I don't know if this is enough to, save Marco and use him long-term, but as of right now, it's just not a biggest positional need, right? So if we had to forego one position, I suppose corner would be one of them because we have younger guys below Marco, and Marco has stars. So obviously, O-line is probably the biggest need right now, and running back wouldn't hurt, especially if we're going to think that we're not going to get a proven running back. Then we really need to grab a running back right now and develop them. And I don't know. 17 mil's a lot. I think we're screwed either way with him. And then every other position is backup level. About 55 mil. Running back would be the number 1 thing. Chase Young. They didn't trade that much for him. They really didn't. But I still assume they try to make it work. I don't know if they can, but I assume they have to try and make it work. As far as other positions go, I did like Gabe Davis. The Bills are a kind of expensive team. About 15 mil per. I kind of want to see how he played for them. Obviously, the Bills scheme might be kind of a downgrade. Michael Wilson, even though he's 24, did play pretty well. Gabe Davis is a true number 1 type guy, though, with that size. But I don't know. We just paid Marquise. Kind of want to give Michael Wilson another season because he just played pretty well in a probable bad scheme with a 60 overall quarterback for half the season. So I think I have to kind of just let that happen. And sadly, we don't need safety because Geno Stone's actually looking really good in this rebuild. Normally, you don't see that. And I don't think either of him or Delpit could really play linebacker while convincing me. That block shed's pretty bad, and I gotta imagine Geno's right there with him. 60 is pretty low. And then cornerback, Levi's superstar, but obviously he's not a future guy, and we need guys that are going to be here 2 to 4 seasons minimum. down the line, and those guys just won't. And then the guys here, I mean, why would we pay a ton of money to bring back Isaiah Simmons when they just traded him for next to nothing? They clearly don't view him as an important piece or a guy that can develop. Leonard Williams would be interesting. We do need D-line. Don't know how much it's going to cost, but 81 overall is kind of low. So where I would normally maybe give him that 3-year deal, I kind of want to keep this to a 1-year. And we do have a highest offer, so we might be able to bring him in. Any other players, especially that D-line, would be definitely nice. I would love to add Chase Young, but man, I kind of want to see who's actually offering him, though. Like, if the Commanders are number 1, I kind of want to take him. Like, dude, that would be so cheese. Like, that legit wouldn't even be fair, bro. The Commanders getting him back after trading him for a 3rd-round pick, that just wouldn't even be fair. But at the same time, even though our guys were bad off the edge, they are pieces that can develop. I guess we just let him go. And then O-line, there's not really anyone, once again, that is long-term. Could help, now getting a guy like Zeitler, but overall, I just think that's just kind of a waste of money. I think realistically, we just offer the one player and hope we get him, I guess, which we do. So, I mean, we got one player, we got a D lineman, and Houston finishes giving us pick 10 overall, and I did force their wins according to real life, because I obviously knew that would be a pretty big advantage for us to be just all willy-nilly. Maybe they lose some games in here, but yeah, they just, I don't know, they just didn't finish the season out well. All right, we are starting the draft. The Bears are number 1 overall. I have no idea what they're going to be taking. It is a left outside linebacker, and I never really thought I would be the one to do this. But I may be taking running back. There is a really good-looking quarterback as well in Antonio Ware, elite throw power, a bunch of A's and whatnot, which, I mean, we could use quarterback probably, but I kind of want to give Kyler another run. I feel like Cardinals fans would want me to give him another chance. But running back, pick 2 overall, Josh Little. Not the fastest in the world, but scout him further. A juke, A spin, A break tackle, A carrying, even has a B in trucking, although I will say that D injury is something thankfully doesn't matter in this realm. I don't know if he's generational. That ball carrier vision does worry me a little bit, but he looks very good. I'm guessing at least a 77 overall, and I need running back, and normally I wouldn't do this, but also if you look at the fact that we have 2 running backs on our list, and the other ones are 1 to 2 anyways, and he looks really not that great. This could be my biggest sell in rebuild history. But with this position being so hard to develop, I am going to be taking running back number 2 overall. He's a top 5 projection, and he has been that way all season long. I think I have no choice but to grab him. And he's at least hidden. Okay, good start. 94 speed, 93 excel, 92 agility, 91 change of direction. Very good. Is that generational speed? Probably not. But it is one of the higher speeds I've seen for a running back in Madden. It's not like a common speed. And then, of course, we will be trading down here as all of our next kind of picks are not really like the best. We don't really have anyone nearby. The Lions. Now, that's a trade I like. We get a 1st, a 3rd, and a 5th next year. Plus, we're in the high second, which is where I like to be. Although the Falcons are also giving me a decent one. I think I'm going to go with the Lions here. Get that 1st round next year, which the Lions are hit or miss in sim. And, end up with a pick 2 in the 2nd round anyways. They go for a DT. And I actually just completely forgot. I don't remember when our corners are supposed to go. I may have just sold. Okay, we do have some more corners here. Didn't get to scout McClendon more, but as you can see, Keenan Garrett looks really good. 2 to 3, not the fastest, but we're hoping he's good. I'm going to go for him, and he's hidden. Okay, these types of 6'3", 6'4 types had been a normal dev a lot lately. Thankfully, he's not, and with those key ratings, he could be another 75-plus overall player, too. While O-line isn't great in this draft, I still just cannot deny that Falcons trade. I think it's just a valuable one. Really hoping there is a lineman here at 24, but most of our linemen, if not all of them, were 2 to 3s. Acosta was another guy on my list. He was a DT type, obviously interior 3-4. But let's see if there's any O-line. Goodrich is still there. We also have McKnight. Didn't really get to scout him further, but really shocked Goodrich is here. And you can see, I don't have anyone else. So Goodrich, hoping he's hidden. We need more O-line, though, without a doubt. And, normal dev. I mean, he's going to be a long-term guy probably because, I mean, he looks really good. He's just not hidden, which is ridiculously unlucky, it seems. Because, like I said, I think he's going to be a good player. He's just, the dev sucks. All right, we end up trading Rondale Moore, a 5th and 7th this year and a 5th next year, to the Cardinals for that second-round pick. Obviously, Tristan Hill isn't really a name for us, but they were kind of broke. And in general, I mean, our DTs do kind of suck. So if we sell at that position, maybe he starts. That would be really bad, but you just don't know. And, of course, with this pick, I think I might take the risk on this really iffy-looking tackle. I need O-line, and he looks good enough. And it's really all about hidden. Can he? Yes. Okay, that could have been a big sell. The other guy still kind of stand behind even if he's normal. That pick, if he's normal, though, would have been one of those, why? Why did I think that was going to work? But it did work, and thankfully so. Of course, DT, we could use multiple. I might end up going for Bailey and Andrade. I don't know what his name is. Mullins looks really good, too. I might actually go Mullins first. Linebacker isn't our biggest need, but this guy looks insane. I'm going Jadarius Mullins first. How could you deny that? Hidden development trait, what a win. Pick 10 should still have at least one of the DTs there. We might sell on, getting both, but at least we should have one. Then we have pick 11, so if he is there, I mean, that's back-to-back picks. We'll have both DTs, and they are, so they both look pretty similar, I guess. Bailey's 22, so just in case you want to go a different route, that guy is very fast, so we'll take a look at the strength and age. Yeah, he is a little bit better. So Josh is going to be our pick. Normal dev. Am I really about to take 2 normal dev DTs? I mean, I think I have no choice. We really need the position, and O-line is gone. I think we have to take these 2. Linebacker could be there, but please. Okay, at least you get one that's hidden. So a couple of, normal devs here and there. It's okay, though, because they are, probably still going to be pretty decent. Anyways, let's go to the favorites, see if there's any other players. So linebackers there. Corner, I mean, that's another McClendon corner, but the other position would probably be definitely Logan, because he looks like one of those superstar dev speed receivers. And then at 24, a linebacker, maybe trade up. So we're going to go until one linebacker remains, and then maybe trade up for him, unless they're just there, which we can see one of them is not. All right, I have 3 linebackers still here, so I'm not actually sure who we're going to be taking, but we have Holly, who looks a little more raw. Lawson, who I know nothing about. And then Glanton. Glanton looks the best, but I'm not 100% sure. That speed is a little iffy, and obviously we know that true middle linebackers in sim, in game, are better to develop. He is not as fast at all. That was kind of like a desperation. Keep the linebacker up there. Glanton, hidden dev. His speed is a little slower than we expected, but even then, still even lower than I would have expected. But it works out. And then at pick 2, we'll take a look to see if any of our guys are there, but this might be a trade down. And then in the 5th, we take the speed receiver if he's there. And all the wide receivers are there. I think we can still probably get a decent pick for this, maybe even a 3rd next. And then that 5th round pick should still be good enough for that slot receiver, which was kind of the game plan going in, which is why I traded Rondale Moore. And even if I didn't want to, he's a 1-year guy. He's left, 1 year left, and I just don't think it's worth, re-signing him. So the worst team of the bunch. The Browns could be bad. Commanders, for some reason, have been great in sim lately, and the Eagles I would never play against. So the Commanders or the Browns or the Vikings. Actually, the Vikings are really bad in sim. Plus, they're giving me a 6th-round pick to sweeten the pot. That is who we're going to be taking the pick from. And I'm kind of curious to see what they take anyways. Tight end. I mean, maybe. I'm not really sure. A backup tight end's the biggest need in the world. But pick 13, no other picks remaining, will be the wide receiver if he's there. And he is Tyler Logan, 21 years old, 5'9", and then once again, that speed build, hopefully. Oh, he wasn't superstar. A little surprised by that, but 99 speed, 97 excel, 99 agility is still very good. Either way, that'll be our slot receiver. We're definitely taking a step back losing Rondale, but once again, I'm not paying a 5'7" slot receiver when we don't even know if our number 2 is, great. Not playing Rondale at 2. These receivers are short enough as is. Let's take a look at the roster, though. What do we get? Oh, that could be. Tell me it's generational. Now, the problem is with running back and safety, there are a lot of... He looks really good. He looks really good. He's got some good catching traits as well, even though he doesn't really have good catching ability. He looks kind of crazy. The problem with these like running backs and safeties, we've seen high overalls that are just star. Maybe he's generational though, right? Ah, he is. Finally. And a running back though. What the hell does he wear though? 27 is kind of like, do I consider that a generational? 22, 23. I'm going to give him 23. I like that. Looks all right. Not bad at all. Pick 2 overall running back, and it actually works out. Oh my lord, the man in zone is insane. Press is pretty good. He's kind of cooking. I'm just saying, who let this guy cook? And he's a superstar. That is a good first 2 picks. We're number 22, I guess, for a corner. Left guard was only a 71 overall, or a 73 overall, but probably finds a way as a starter. I mean, he's somewhat balanced. His finesse is kind of on the worst side. McKnight, the right tackle, probably moves over to left tackle instead. Very good pass block as well, fitting for that tackle spot. Put him at left tackle. See if we got lucky with a superstar here, maybe. And we did not. I don't really draft tackles too often, so I don't really know what the odds are of getting a superstar tackle are. But great block shed, not great zone coverage for Mullins. And he will end up with the dev of star dev. I mean, we kind of exhausted our devs in the beginning. I guess I'll still take a look at the DT. So we would have made the wrong choice at DT. 78 finesse is really good, though. So as much as he's normal dev, that's still a really good pick. And then Bailey with 79 finesse. Let's see if the dev is higher than star. It's pretty rare for the DTs that are finesse type 2B. Oh! I now struggle with the title. I would have sold astronomically. I don't know what's going on. I would have sold so hard if we didn't need 2 DTs. I would have been the dumbest on the block. Star dev, right outside linebacker. We kind of just need straight up middle, but we'll see. Maybe we just move Zaven there. Probably cost less in the long run to keep him as well. And then I guess I want to kind of look at some of these ratings. 70 catch, 79 catch in traffic. 88 spec, though. I mean, he's a long shot type player, but that is still a really good player. Was there anything I wanted to look at? I don't think so. I think we're good. 2 X Factors and a superstar. Obviously, we had pick 2 and 10, but that still doesn't mean a thing. We could have easily sold those picks. Once again, I still can't just get over the fact that I really sold the DT choice just because of age for like the billionth time. And we got lucky that he ended up still being really good. I can't believe Little, though. He is ridiculous. And you know what? We didn't even need the other DT. I completely forgot about Leonard Williams, so I'm glad I forgot, because I would have been like, we have other needs. We don't really need to go DT. We'll just dev up the normal dev guy. The things that needed to go right for me to not sell is kind of crazy, even though I did sell. It took me the second try to get him. But yeah, because I completely forgot about Leonard. I was like, good thing we didn't, only need 1. It's like, well, you actually did only need 1. And you just overdrafted, which is, once again, a little blessing. And we could probably trade off Kaiser White. Obviously, keep Barnes as the backup. Not bad, actually. And then Zaven Collins at inside linebacker might be cheaper in the end than just keeping him at outside, obviously. So this could have actually been like almost the perfect draft. We obviously still need even more and maybe look to replace Budda Baker down the line. I need some backups here, too. But I don't know what a guy like Kaiser White is worth after, it's like you kind of got rid of him because he played really well. Was it because he's on the Cardinals team or the Eagles team and it was a one-year wonder type of thing? Who knows? But now it's like, okay, well, he's proven himself, right? If the Falcons are willing to give a 4th, I'm chilling. And here we go for year 2. This running back looks like he could be the savior of the position and the run game in general. Obviously, James Conner didn't really play well for us, and obviously he's only going to get worse as he is up there in age, 29 years old now, but a solid backup, hopefully. And then tight end, we got McBride hopefully developing. O-line, center, potentially. Right guard, probably. Left tackle, for sure. But we might move McKnight over to left tackle after the season's over. Just didn't want to waste Humphries because he's, still paid a lot of money right now for this season, and the dead hit's like literally the same as the savings, so it's smart to just start him. And then defense, we definitely improved quite a bit. We'll see what happens with edge. Thomas already 24. I mean, the edge didn't really seemingly play that well. DT, especially Bailey, should be good. And then obviously safeties are pretty good, and then linebackers are really good. So we definitely turned the team around quite a bit, but there still are probably quite a bit of starters that we need to add in. But as of right now, we're fine. We're okay. What a wild season. We started the season out 2-0, and then out of nowhere, lost 5 straight. Changed the scheme again. We have now won 3 straight. I hate that scheme plays that much of a factor, but it just does, and that's just the world we're living in. So anyone that wants to cry about always changing schemes and all that, it's just the Madden that we live in. That's just the way things go. Of course, some pretty favorable contracts. Obviously, Marco declined that, but won't take too much more to get him back. Leonard Williams, I think I'm down to do another season no matter what happens here with him. He looks really good still, and that's really all I can say. I did see the guard, Will Hernandez, but I think we can do better, especially as each season, hopefully, our needs shrink, and I just did a little burp. Win and maybe in? We are. Okay, so we do win and get in. Obviously, I started off with the Raiders playbook, had to change that, and, well, we won a lot of games. Obviously, we lost 2 out of those, final couple of games, final, half season, actually, but to make it after a 2-5 start is very, very impressive. Obviously, not seeing any of our names on that top-tier list, but Kyler Murray might need to go. I will say he might need to go. And then, once again, doesn't matter how good of a player it is. EA deems this guy as generational. He is 300 XP away from already being a 90 overall, yet he's not good enough to get 4 yards per carry. They deem him as generational, and he is almost a 90 overall rookie, but not good enough to get to it. Okay, sure. McBride could go to superstar. That's a lot of yards. Wilson hopefully goes a star. If not, we're going to have to replace that position as well. Do have that extra first-round pick this season. Bailey killed it. Ojulari, not bad. Williams, maybe a dev up for all 3. Well, maybe not Bailey. Kind of already an X factor. But yeah, hopefully that Lions pick maybe isn't the best, because we might be able to go for a quarterback, because Kyler Murray, I just don't know if he's him. Jalen Hurts, the MVP of the league. We end up getting offensive and defensive rookie of the year. I wonder if Little will go up in dev. Both of our guys, X factors. They win the Rookie of the Year award. Doesn't really matter that much. I guess we'll take the XP, but I can't believe that Little's already a 90 overall after 1 season. That's crazy. Of course, yards per carry weren't great, but still ended up winning Rookie of the Year. Of course, looking at the team versus their team, oh, it's the Lions. There's no better thing that could happen than for us to win. I don't know why I didn't see their team at first, but yeah, I'm going to say that it's not going to be that good of a pick. We're in the 20s no matter what for these 2 picks. But at least one of them is going to stop getting worse, right? Hopefully it's the Lions. Because obviously, win or lose, one of the picks will continue to drop. And it looks like it is going to be theirs, because we are not going to be moving on, I don't think. Although a nice little comeback, down 17-0, 14-17 now. The Lions up by 10. We really need something to happen. 3 points, but we get the stop. Offense has a chance to tie this game up. Talking like it's over, and it just wasn't. Although it may be now. 3rd and 10. This is for the game. Basically, they get this first down, and we're not looking too hot. And I think you got to go crazy with his blitz. Bailey's in a pretty bad position, so I'll user him. I don't think he's going to be able to make a play on this. Yeah, he's not, and that is a burn for the game potential winner. Went for the strip because I was like, you know what, maybe just give him the touchdown. Didn't. See what the AI can get up to. See if they can pull off a miracle. And they're going to score on that 3rd down, which is, I mean, it gives the team a chance, I suppose. We also have a 99 speed kick returner. I'm not going to touch any button here. I'm going to see if he can run on his own. Yeah, he doesn't go backwards if you just let him go. And we find a little room to the 26. You obviously have to return that every day of the week. I think we maybe are able to take 1 shot middle of the field if it's there. But anything else, and that's probably a GG. I just don't see how you would be able to have the time to do more than that. But let's see. Streak for Logan, who's speedy, but the route running is probably not going to lead him to anything. Wilson, I mean, like, really? Most goated play in the history of plays. We'll say Wilson probably gets open here, unless it's McBride that gets open. Well, maybe not. Inside, is he effing joking? Is he the worst quarterback of all time? Like, hello? 2 wide open receivers. And I wish it wasn't Wilson, because with no safety help, there's a chance for a deep shot here. Hit that. Instead, we're going to the short route. We can't get out of bounds. The foot doesn't touch. I thought it was going to. And Logan won't run the right route. I mean, it's just a streak to Logan at this point. And he won't even get the ball off. That is pain. That might be Kyler Murray's last throw as a Cardinal. That was atrocious throwing from, well, actually perfect throwing from Murray in a pure throwing the game sense. Yeah, I mean, that's just horrible. The misses he had there was just ridiculous. Interceptions, they had 2 of them. Didn't really matter in the end. Both kickers missing. Our kicker kind of sucks, though, so he has a little bit of an excuse. Kind of just let him rock with whatever punter they decided to give us, because punters are just completely random anyways. It doesn't really matter the overall. Maybe the overall for the team's chance to win, but as far as like hitting the field goal goes, it just doesn't seem like it matters what overall they are. And it's the Cowboys and Chiefs in the Super Bowl again. Pretty fun matchup. New one, obviously. Might have to replace wide receiver, though, as Michael Wilson might end up being a normal dev still. And the Cowboys are the Super Bowl champions. Take a look at the dev ups. No dev up for McBride is crazy, though. But Wilson kind of expected in the defensively. Thomas going up in dev is huge. Williams going up in dev is huge. Garrett was already superstar. No one else went up in dev, but that is a massive dev up for Mr. Cameron Thomas, who's now 25. Not bad. Not bad at all. But wasn't it Ojulari that played well? Am I missing something? Wasn't it Ojulari that was good and then Cameron was like a disappearing act, kind of? I don't know. I don't even question the dev ups at this point. Let's go to the offseason, I think. I don't know if there's any other like negotiations we need to make. Leonard Williams didn't really do like his ratings kind of dropped, but Superstar, I guess, kind of helped it. I think it was still worth re-signing him to that 1 year 16. DT isn't really in need now, and you know, he was actually pretty good for us. As far as other re-signings go, I did not finish the re-signing on Budda Baker. However, that could be fine because we could probably just tag him. I think that would make most sense anyways. So let's do this instead. 3 or 48, which is a lot of money anyways. Doesn't take it. Ends up getting tagged for 18.5. Marco Wilson, pretty disappointed that I didn't get this one done, though. I completely forgot. That should get it done, and it does. 82 million left, and no one to use it on. So fair enough for the team. Let's head on to free agency and maybe see if there's a big missing piece in there. Quarterback is probably not something that I would sign because I just think it's super unrealistic to sign a free agent quarterback that's like high overall. Running back, don't need it. O-line, maybe. Linebacker, don't want to spend money on it. Greg Newsome, we did just pay Marco Wilson, but it was kind of a cheap deal. We'd be set at corner if we got Greg Newsome, but we'll see. Yeah, I think that's kind of it. I don't really think there's anyone else here that's like worthy. And as far as quarterback goes, I'll look around the league to see if there's any players, because maybe there's a team that drafted a rookie and has like a 29-year-old, like 87 overall quarterback, and I'm like, hey, wait a minute. That guy still has some time left. I don't know what they're doing. But outside of that, that's probably what we're going to do. Maybe one lineman from free agency. We got a little bit of money to work with. That could be pretty invaluable. And then we'll head on to the draft. All right, so 2 things. We are probably going to be going for Mr. Newsome, and we are going for Tooney. I need a wide receiver. Do I think Keenan Allen is young enough? Probably not. Is Cooper young enough? Maybe, but I kind of want to sign like a younger wide receiver or trade for one. You know what? Maybe we do go for Cooper. Let's see what the numbers are looking like. We are the number 1 team. We still have money left over. I might actually do. Let's rock these 3 and hope we get them. Do we? We do. All right, huge re-signing or signing for Cooper and Newsome, and then obviously Tooney's not a bad signing as well. Okay, so I was gonna probably trade for a wide receiver. I kind of was eyeing up Pittman. I feel like his value would have been like maybe just at a first-round pick, but instead we're going to be keeping that first-round pick and adding Amari Cooper. And then with this second-round pick, I think I'm going to be going for the superstar dev backup quarterback that the Eagles have. They took him like, I don't know why they took him at all, but they took him late second. And we're going to be giving them a slightly better pick than what they used to get him. Now, will that mean that Murray's 100% gone? No. But there's a good chance that this quarterback is the future because he is very high potential, right? Superstar dev. His accuracies are pretty low, but if he were to get, even a halfway decent season, he could catch up easily to Murray. But I do not want to give up on Murray just yet, especially when he has that high of a penalty. I just want a backup plan in place that doesn't cost me like 2 first-round picks to get. So I think we did a really good job with the signings that we just made, the trade we made for a quarterback, and then hopefully whatever draft we get. And I'm still kind of thinking about trading up for one of these wide receivers. The problem is they're both top 5. This wide receiver looks really good, Mr. Hardwick. And then McIntyre looks pretty good as well. Just not as good because those key ratings, he doesn't have the A's, but I mean, he is a little more balanced, I suppose. I don't think you can go wrong with either one. You could also get Gaines. Raheem Gaines looks all right, too. Just not really a 1 or a 2 type receiver, which, I mean, I wouldn't mind phasing out Marquise Brown to maybe the 3 spot. But let's see what happens with pick 1 overall. If it's Hardwick, then things are, I don't know if we're going to be able to get one of these wide receivers. That is a high pick. The Rams, they go Reinhardt. Pick 4 overall. Do I really? If Hardwick was there, I think for sure I would go up there. This guy is pretty good still. It's just not as athletic, and his key ratings aren't as good. I'd probably rather just go for Gaines, to be honest. I mean, I really liked Hardwick, but he's not there, so I think I'm going to have to move down. Well, we know who to check. Buccaneers and Steelers. Screw it, we're going to go for Gaines. I'm going to probably trade Michael Wilson off to a team that needs wide receiver for maybe like a 3rd. Normal dev for Gaines, but Michael Wilson just didn't develop. Still normal development trade. He's like 25 or 26 now, and it's not going to work when you're that old. I mean, it's not like he's terrible. Oops, it's already paused. It's not like he's terrible. It's just, I just think his max progression is like really low. Like his ceiling is low as hell. Like 25, 78 overall. I mean, he's still got 2 years left, I suppose, but if I can get something for him now, I definitely would. If I can get like a 3rd. And we traded into the Patriots for pick 71. It's a little high to be taking a DT, a power move, decently athletic, 35 bench press reps. I mean, I've seen better, but I've also seen worse. What was this tackle? D tackle. I can't. I'm going to trade down. And honestly, I kind of want a next year draft pick. If I can land that would be great. We're going to be trading with Seattle, getting that 3rd round pick this year, even though it's late. A 5th and a 7th, plus that 1st round next year, I think is very fair. I think it's all fair, and we definitely win that trade, in my opinion. Who they take, though, is the question, and it is a safety. All right, I don't know who's there, but I'm just going to be taking best available. There might be a couple of linemen. We definitely need at least a lineman, which I'm assuming there's going to be multiple here. Oh, there's only 2 left. Okay, well, we're going to be taking Phillips. I'm going to trade up for Dixon just to make sure we have all the linemen we need. Although I will say Phillips is kind of small, and he is thankfully hidden, though. It's kind of small, so he's probably set to play center. And then I don't know if we need a guard right now or if I was kind of future-proofing, but either way, we're going to trade to the Saints. Land that last lineman. Hopefully he's hidden. And, oh yeah, I think we are replacing because we have a guard that can play, or maybe he's a center. I don't know, but he's normal, and it's like, we can do better than that, right? We can do better than normal, so let's do better than normal. Let's get a 6th-round pick moving there for 5 spots. Get ourselves that center, who will probably end up playing guard because I'm hoping he's a bigger dude. I don't know if he is or not, but either way, somebody's playing guard. It's not him. It's going to be the guy that's sitting at guard. Josh Dixon, definitely stronger though, but hidden development trait. Nice. Okay, so O-line is done. Actually, we might even need a left tackle. Man, we need a lot of linemen. That's crazy. Right, what else do we have here? Couple of linebackers, I suppose you just take one, and then Roland, who is 6'7". Maybe you take a chance on him just for the hell of it, just to have some depth. Our next pick is at pick 20. It's so many 3rd-round picks, but they're all, like, really late. All right, we trade DJ Humphries and a 4th-round pick off to the Texans, move up basically 50 spots pretty much. And with that, we're maybe even going to take the wide receiver Roland. There's a couple of linebackers there, but linebacker's not the biggest need, and more importantly, since there's so many and we have another draft pick, it's like, okay, do we grab a linebacker now when we have 4 left, or do we take the only remaining wide receiver, which could add depth, and the fact that, once again, he is 6'7", not the fastest in the world, but because he's special, you never know, there could be hidden dev, and he is. All right, we got ourselves, like, a freaking 5-inch taller Michael Wilson. But actually hidden. All right, we have 2/3 left, and I think Horton is going to be our guy here. Don't know that zone coverage, but good with decent Excel. What about Newhouse? He actually looks even better, to be honest. Yeah, I'm going to take the more athletic guy. Normal dev. We're going to move to 26. If the other linebacker's there, I might as well take him. If not, though, we will be trading for next year, which, once again, we're kind of cooking up with draft picks and just rolling the draft, honestly. And sadly, we have nothing left. I'm not sure how these trade offers are so bad, but it seems like the Falcons are the only team giving us, like, something halfway decent here. So I guess we're just banking on them, like, not doing well. But then the Vikings and Packers are offering us, like, more than we just got offered. I don't even know. I'm going to go with the Vikings because they're giving us a little extra. I just took the, like, highest remaining player in the 7th round, and he's hidden dev, but he's 23, and he looked kind of raw. So I don't know what to think about that, but I suppose it's better that he was hidden and wasn't normal, but it's kind of random. Either way, let's go into the recap where we have a very good offseason team. You know, the draft, 76 overall, pretty good for the wide receiver. Phillips, 74, 72 for the center, 72, 73, 70. You know, kind of drops off from there. But overall, we had a pretty good offseason. A lot of, the free agent stuff was great. And then we have that backup quarterback who's superstar and 22 years old. If Kyler Murray sucks early on, he's going to get himself a chance. Gaines, let's take a look at his overall. We took him, kind of late first. Very good catching. Deep route's pretty good. Release is pretty good. And then short route, medium route's not great. But very athletic as well. Kind of fits as that number 3 for now really well. It'd be nice to get another, like, true number 1 type receiver. I think it's going to be Amari Cooper, then Marquise, and then obviously Gaines. O-line, I don't really care too much about, but I am curious about this wide receiver just because he is a special type of player, right? Spec is insane, catching in general is insane, really good jumping, but obviously not the most athletic guy. Short route's pretty good, deep route's pretty good, but medium and release are really bad. Juke ability, there's not a crazy amount going on there, and he doesn't even have aggressive catch trade, which is just, I don't even know, that's bonkers. 6'7", though, what is that, Dev? And he is a superstar. That could be interesting. Obviously not right out the gate. Yeah, I'm not going to put him at number 11, 14, I guess. But, I mean, that is interesting. Definitely very interesting. I thought we grabbed 2 linebackers, no? Did I sell? How did we not grab 2? I don't even know. But let's take a look at those wide receivers. Oh, my dude. Keontae Hardwick, hidden development trait. That could be generational. That, like, the release, the route running, the catching is pretty crazy. That could be a generational player. Both wide receivers may have been generational based on overalls. And there's one of them. The Buccaneers with easily the best receiving group in the league. And now move on to McIntyre, who is 87 release, 97 spec. Oh, we should have traded up. We should have traded up. And we didn't. Oh, he's actually star. I thought it was 2 generationals. I guess not. 68 overall for the Rams, but, 99 speed, I guess, but 60 release, that's a bust. I don't know what they're doing there. I don't care how fast he is. That is horrendous. Horton went right after us to the Commanders, and of course he was hidden. I mean, I just can't take any wins, can I? I just refuse to win. What's the dev? Thankfully only star, but still kind of an L. And yeah, the offseason was a W, but we missed out on some potential talent. Like I said, if Hardwick was there for, I'd definitely take him. But I just didn't think McIntyre was as good. And I guess in the long run, I wasn't wrong, I suppose. Also sounded like I was starting up a chainsaw. The Year 3 team looks quite a bit better, I must say. We have a new true number 1 wide receiver. Sorry, Marquise, you didn't hear that. Obviously, new number 3 wide receiver in Gaines. Number 5 wide receiver Rollins got superstar, so probably move him up 1. Little is starting the season off as a 91. So in theory, if the idea that 90-plus overall running backs are the only ones that do well in Sim is true, then maybe we'll finally have a run game. O-line, we added Tooney, but it is still a very low overall roster. But it's got all starters now. Trey McBride, or long-term starters, I should say. Trey McBride, 81 overall. He's looking all right. Kyler Murray's a question mark. We'll see. He's 28 now. Ratings are good enough to stand, for a couple of seasons if he gets a dev up. And then defensively, probably do need a new DT. Edge, even though there's potential there, we might need a new edge because, they got to perform. It's not just about being superstar or being young and developing. You have to actually perform. Linebackers are pretty good. Safeties are pretty good for now. And corners are improved with Newsome. So this is a squad that is no longer filled with all normal development trait players. Or whatever I just tried to say. All right, Buda Baker, we gave him like a freaking 1-year deal once before. A 3-year 45 is definitely a little bit better for, I guess him and, both sides, really. Cameron Thomas, how well did he play? Maybe he actually played better than I remember. 5.5. He's got 2 so far. Like, what do I do with this? Like, he should be good, but he's not good. I don't know what EA wants. Like, what does EA want from me? Trey McBride will get the contract because he's got a bright future. But I don't know what they want from me with Cameron Thomas. Like, I guess I just draft a new player there. And then Jalen Thompson, as much as I was kind of feeling like he was all right, low zone, getting up there in age. I think you replace him. I think you replace Leonard as well. We have money. We have draft picks. I think we can deal with replacing all of these players. And then Jake Elliott, we just got him in free agency. I'm going to try to keep him on a 2-year 10. Really? More than a 2-year 10? Okay. All right, we missed the playoffs, but this was a very interesting season. Now, the reason why I say very interesting, we had a pretty good start. We had a really good start. And then we started to lose. We were about 7-4 right here, I think. Then we lost 3 games in a row, and at that point I was like, I'm going to put in the other quarterback. He goes 2-1 to finish off the season, against the Niners, Falcons, and Seahawks. Not the easiest teams in the world to beat, whereas, Murray lost to the Jaguars, Texans, Colts. On and off, you really don't know what you're going to get from those teams, but I would argue that the Niners and Seahawks are tougher to beat than the Texans and the Colts in game. Obviously, it's 3 years down the line, so maybe things have changed. I don't know. But overall, that backup quarterback came in and kind of played. I don't know how well he actually played, but they won games with him. Murray is out. That's all I can tell you right now. Looking at the completion percentage, almost the exact same. Passer rating, higher. And this guy really didn't get a chance to start. So Murray is 100% out. At this point, the way he's playing is he even worth a third. I don't know. Little definitely played better as we expected him to. Cooper may have gotten X factor. Gaines was all right. McBride was all right. Brown was pretty disappointing considering he's the number 2. O-line, pretty good for how low of a rating a lot of the players are. Pass rush, Bailey was the only one decent. I mean, I've run so many different schemes now. The Niners, the Bills, the Commanders, and it just doesn't matter. You got to have proven players. I don't understand how. Collins better be an X factor with that. Baker was really good. Newsom was really good. He might get a dev up as well. Elliott was great. We didn't get that contract done, but we'll get something going. I'm just a little disappointed. I felt like this was a playoff season, and it crumbled because Kyler Murray and Sim is just terrible. I don't know what to tell you. He's just really bad in Sim. And the Chiefs in the Super Bowl yet again. And the Chiefs win. Who would have freaking thought? Let's take a look at those dev ups. I'm hoping Amari Cooper got a dev up, which he did. How much did it save him? I don't know. But 88 overall, I mean, we're definitely glad he got the X factor because he would have been really regressive if not. But we might still need more wide receivers, I'm going to be honest with you. But right now, we're okay. I guess Marquise Brown, what is he, 29 now? He definitely regressed a little bit. Running backs obviously going up, and away. Any other dev ups defensively? We should have had a few, right? 6 interceptions for a linebacker wasn't good enough. Okay. No dev ups on defense. That is a bit surprising. I can't lie. But let's go to the offseason where we're going to maybe get the trade for a pass rusher, or I don't know what our draft picks look like, but yeah, Thomas isn't getting it done. Ojulari's not getting it done, but Ojulari doesn't need the contract just yet, so I guess he gets another season to try and do something. I don't know what I can do here. That's all I can really say. It's just EA's in control. We need new players, I guess. Oh, did Jake Elliott win Best Kicker or something? Because he's star dev. Either way, I'm going to try to get him back. Excited to re-sign. I'm hoping free agency's got something for us this year, right? Like, the guys we signed other than Newsom last season were pretty old anyways. I would love to see like a 27-year-old edge rusher or something that's like elite. Obviously, we had to get rid of Cameron Thomas because he's just not cooking. I clicked the wrong button. He's just not cooking, simply put. He's just not doing well. We need a DT. We need an edge rusher. There might be something else we need. I'm not 100% sure, but as you can see here, we are not going to really be getting much of that because it is a very weak free agency class like usual. All right, so we brought Leonard Williams back because he's actually still really good. And then we brought in Jabril Peppers because he's like Jalen Thompson, but better. He's just a little older, I will admit. But the zone is a little better, and the overall is obviously higher. But looking at Leonard Williams, he's still pretty damn good for his lower overall, if you will. 85 power move, 84 block shot. Just put that in perspective across the league. I'd imagine that's top 15 at least, as you would think it would be common to have those kind of ratings, but it's really not. So let's take a look real quick. Maybe I'm completely wrong and it's just not. It's like way lower than that. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Basically tied for 8th with like a few players. And if we were to change finesse, you know, there's 2 players better than him. So he's top 10 pass rushing DT, and he's got a little bit of block shed on top of it. And Seattle also ended up giving us pick 8 overall. And the Chiefs aren't really using Felix Anudike Uzomah, so I will trade for him while he's on a contract year type of thing here. So, I mean, he's not the best, but if I can get him for like a 3rd round pick, I'm absolutely going to try and use him unless somebody, well, there we go, unless somebody else shows up. So we do have pick 8 overall after all, but we've got a little bit of youth now at the edge. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but I will tell you this much. Ojulari still himself may be replaceable or have to be replaced. Finesse upgrade, doesn't get anything for finesse. It's so annoying, but 85 finesse move is pretty damn good. So going to be playing him at right end and see if he can maybe do something for us, as Cameron Thomas just never did. He got the dev up, but outside of 1 season, he was really bad. All right, we have pick 8 overall. I don't even know what we want, but edge, maybe? I think it's the most valuable position that you can go for in the, well, other than quarterback, in the top 10, especially for what we need. Wide receiver wasn't really looking too primed. I'd rather just trade for one if I was going to go for somebody. And then at pick 8 here, the safety that I was kind of looking at is still here too, though. I'm kind of interested in maybe going them instead. Mr. Swain. This is what my board looks like currently. Hopefully you don't hear that D-pad. I click it all the time, like really hard. Not like by choice, it's just the way it is. It just sounds like that. But Josh Castillo, he's, you know, an edge rusher. I scouted him further. It looks pretty good with a B or A to B block shed. I debate on going with the safety here only because there's a couple of other safeties, but Cam Averill, another 6'2" guy with, you know, some redeemed qualities. A, power move. B, block shed. I would definitely say the other guy's a little bit better, though. And then of these players, Motley looks really good, too. Felix Motley, 21 years old. You know, good speed, good excel. A 4.48 is not bad. I think Swain might have been a little bit faster, though. Let's see. 22 years old. Yeah, he's very elite in speed. Is he like, I don't know if I would say generational, but elite agility, elite speed isn't super common for a safety. He's definitely not generational. Edge isn't like a guaranteed need. Do I just take, I'm going to take Swain anyways. Oh, I've made a mistake. Pick 8 overall, normal dev. Please tell me he's one of those really high overall safeties, though. That is an L. Castillo, I'm going to go to pick 18. I regret everything. Castillo's going to be a god, and our guy's normal. And quarterback is still there, which is interesting. I wasn't really intending to take QB, but I did have Carson on my board just because I thought maybe he'd be there, which he is. We're obviously going to be trading Kyler Murray off. Maybe get a 3rd off of him. I know we could get more than that, but the way he's played, nobody would pay more than a 3rd. He would be like a 77 overall, like max at this rate, maybe even worse. Is Edge still there? Averill still there? I'm going to go with Cam Averill here. 21 years old. Hidden development trade. A little bit slower than Castillo, obviously, but still solid. And that quarterback's still there. If he's there at the start of the 3rd, I mean, I got to go for him. But I'd imagine somebody with a QB need came up. And I would have imagined wrong. I guess we got to trade up for him. Maybe he actually sucks. It's worth it. It's worth it. Obviously, we have that superstar quarterback who is primed to be the starter, but at the end of the day, we're going to be getting rid of Kyler Murray, and a backup wouldn't hurt, even if it's, you know, a first pick in the 2nd round backup. It's still worth it, I think, especially when we have extra picks, so we can kind of like luxury off here, if you will. Any positional needs they have? QB? I mean, maybe Kyler Murray. How about we do something like this? Instead of doing a 3rd, we end up giving a late 3rd with Kyler Murray. They can't afford him. Damn it. Hell, looking at that number, I don't know if anyone could afford him. Maybe we aren't trading him at all. Hey, Denver, how are ya? 49, I mean, that's basically a 3rd. Here's another mobile quarterback. Also, I didn't look to see how much that trade costed us. I just assumed that we would save equally as much as it would cost to keep him. But I don't know. I'm not really sure, but I don't really care. As you can see, we're still intact. We're still, you know, we still got money. That's all that really matters. So many extra picks, like 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and we gave a bunch of stuff to move up like 16 spots or whatever, and we're going to be taking that quarterback, I suppose. Let's see if it worked out for us or not. We can almost argue that we basically traded Kyler Murray for this guy, so let's see if it was a good trade or not. And he's hidden dev, 94 throw power. I mean, what do you want? It's been a quarterback carousel for sure. It's been kind of wild. And you know what? Motley's still there. Safety going forward is kind of our biggest need, so Felix Motley. And I should have just not taken Swain. Although, once again, Swain could be a decent overall. But I feel like his peak would be like a 76 overall at the very best, which is pretty mid, to be honest. We have a 6'3" wide receiver, but I was about to say, but wide receiver's not that big of a need, but it kind of is. The 6'7" superstar could be the future. This guy can really jump, too. I don't know. I think if I'm going to trade up for anyone, it would probably be this DT Parsons or Childress. Probably Childress more, though. But either way, let's go to the next round. We're trading 2 5ths and 82 for 66 from the Steelers, which I think will be used on a defensive tackle. A couple of other decent players there, like linebackers anyways. Maybe another lineman wouldn't hurt either, because why not? But I believe Childress is going to be who we're taking. A B block shed, an A finesse, B tackle. Can't go wrong, right? Looks pretty athletic, decent enough strength. And he's in development trade. A little bit better the last couple of picks, which I will definitely take. And our plethora of picks that we had going into this draft has kind of disappeared a little bit, so I don't think I'm going to trade up again. If anything, I might go for the trade downs like usual. Bunch of linemen. We do have one linebacker, but the only thing I know about him is his A pursuit. Very athletic. Is it that big of a need versus O-line? I mean, I don't even think O-line's that big of a need, to be honest, but A pursuit, A to win. I'm going to take the shot on him. And he's hidden. Why not? And I've got to assume one of the linemen's going to be there to start the fourth. Maybe I'm wrong, but we're going to take a look. And wow, I was dead wrong. I think 9 spots went, and so did 6 offensive linemen. That's crazy. So instead of trading up, we're going to be trading down. We're going to get a pick, 2 picks next year and a pick the following year, which is pretty fair, I suppose. Let's move on to 19. I don't even know what I want here. Is there some sort of depth? I'm going to trade down again. Then maybe we'll look at a punter or a kicker. And the only decent kicker there was Dylan Williams. A, awareness, B, accuracy, an elite kick power, and the elite speed isn't a lie. It says he's the second fastest, but a 4.69 is kind of crazy. That is who I'm going to be taking. And did we land a generational kicker? 99 kick power, hidden development trait, 80 speed. Kind of tells me he's generational. All right, let's find out how much we sold. Was the safety at least a decent overall, even though he's normal dev? And regardless of the point, is he higher than Motley at least? And okay. So, like I said, fair enough. He is a very high overall. Very good hit power. You would not hate this, actually. This would be really good. At first, you'd be so bummed out, it would pain you. And then you'd be like, whoa, we cooked. Okay, so I did not really need Motley, but hey, he's a 76 overall. I ain't going to complain. I do want to see, there's so many different players here. Averill, he'll be a backup for now, I imagine, although 80 power move tells you maybe you should get a chance pretty early on. We're going to be playing him at, one of the end spots, probably, right end, I think. 52 is a pretty clutch number, only star, but hey, it's not a bad little starter. Let's take a look at Motley now, the 76 overall hidden dev player. We basically have the starters of the future. I mean, we basically have the safety position locked down while the safety position's already locked down. So our safeties, our DBs are through the roof deep. Childress was hidden development trait. I don't know why I recall. And 81 finesse. I mean, when it comes to the zone coverage, the throw power, the block shed, what is it called? The pass rush. We've had some really high marks in this one. As a lot of these players have really good ratings for those specific stats. Carson looks really good. I don't know what his dev is, but I'm kind of thinking it's going to be hard not to start this guy just because he is a rookie and can win Rookie of the Year compared to the guy we traded for. Let's put him number 6, star dev. So not as good as the superstar, but once again, Rookie of the Year would be a pretty big win, giving him unlimited future godliness. Of course, these are all 7th round picks, so we don't really care. The tight end had an A run block. I was like, I'm going to maybe try him out at fullback. I don't know if I'm going to still be doing that. Of course, really good zone coverage, not good block shed, which is usually the opposite for these outside linebacker off-ball types. Superstar development trait. I don't know where the hell we're going to play him, but somewhere, I guess. And as far as the kicker goes, I imagine as a 79 overall, he is a superstar. We're number 35. There's got to be something here that we can put him at that isn't number 35. That is disgusting. Even 15 looks better than that, and he is a superstar, pretty clutch. All right, I'm really happy with that safety now, but did we sell? Because we could have had Castillo. 75 overall, please be normal. 80 finesse move, 73 block shed. Was that dev? Anything higher than star would kind of suck, but I suppose we got Averill anyways. Damn, he did have superstar. All right, it feels really weird to kind of be restarting that quarterback this late into a rebuild, season 4 to be exact. We're going to be on a tight leash with Coolidge. It's unfortunate and unfair for him as he's never really gotten a legit chance to be the guy. But realistically, once again, if we were to win Rookie of the Year with that quarterback, Carson, he would definitely shoot up hard. That sounds really weird. But, that would be the case. So, if Coolidge sucks early on and the team's not doing well, I'm going to bench him pretty early on, I'd say. But as a superstar, he still has very high potential, so obviously it's a good thing to have too many quarterbacks. And then defensively, edge has still been a problem. Linebackers really haven't developed, even though they have all the potential to. And then DBs are some of the best in the league when you consider the depth as well. And the season is not going to plan at all. I have no idea about any of those edge rushers, see if they're playing well or not. Tooney maybe gets another year. Little, I think we probably just re-sign him straight up. We'll do the 5th year because you can't go any more expensive. He's a 97 overall. But Paris Johnson we'll try to get a contract for, and then once again, if these guys are playing well, they'll get a contract. If not, I really don't know. All right, going to the playoffs. We are obviously not in them. We were terrible. Gotta love that. Gotta love when, Kyler Murray was terrible for us, so dropping off from terrible shouldn't really be bad, right? I'm not really sure why we sucked so much. Didn't change the offensive scheme. I changed the defensive scheme because the numbers were just terrible year in and year out. And sadly, I think they still continue to suck to this day. We started off with Coolidge. He wasn't great. We moved on to Carson. He wasn't great, but he was slightly better. And once again, he's a rookie compared to Coolidge, who's been in the league for 2 years. Little's getting better every year, but still yards per carry. It's good, but the yards themselves aren't. McBride should be a dev up finally. Cooper was pretty good. Marquise Brown, terrible. Gains, okay, since he's a slot. Tackles were really bad, and we just paid Paris Johnson. Edge, D-line in general. Bailey's the only guy that's doing anything. I'm really getting disappointed and honestly very frustrated with the fact that our edge is just doing absolutely nothing no matter who we put there. You almost have to legitimately trade for a guy that is proven, and it's really annoying. It's really annoying. Did not win Rookie of the Year on offense, which is really disappointing, and probably didn't win any awards in general, and we didn't. I paid the edge rushers as well, because it's what am I going to do? Do I just keep restarting every single season with a new edge rusher, and nothing happens anyways? I don't know. But the Niners are in the Super Bowl versus the Ravens. We're headed on to year 5, and things have not really gone well for us as the Niners do win the Super Bowl. Let's take a look at the dev-ups. If Trey McBride didn't go up dev, that would be just disgustingly dumb. And he did go up in dev, thankfully. Cooper, 87 overall. He's still good enough. I think maybe we try to go for a wide receiver in the draft, and if there's not someone that looks really proven, well, we got a bunch of dev-ups here, actually. Well, maybe not a bunch, but Leonard Williams would have been dev. Doesn't matter. I don't know. Zaven Collins, he wasn't X Factor before, right? He's an 85 overall. He's 28 now, so his peak is definitely reached, but we'll take that X Factor anyways. But maybe we try to trade for a proven wide receiver, because, I'm not really sure what else to do at this point. Swain went up in dev? He was the backup at a lot of positions, but okay, we'll take that. That's a dub. Not even starting gets a dev up. He's him. All right, re-sign players. I think we have the tag or 5th-year option, the running back, but outside of that, I don't think we actually have anyone we need to do anything for. I think we've re-signed everyone and we have money. So hopefully there's just a wide receiver in free agency so we don't have to pay or trade for someone and then pay him, rather just straight up pay someone. Leonard Williams, he hasn't played well since the first year he joined us, but at the same time, we haven't really found better DTs. I think it's another classic case of let him go to free agency. If nothing else shows up, maybe we come back to him and give it another go. Maybe this will be the year he gets back to it. I don't know, but he's been okay. Not elite, but okay. And let's go to free agency. Big offseason, as this is debatably, technically, usually the final season we do, 5 years. But if we at least show promise and don't, win a Super Bowl, maybe that's the year. Of course, JSN, or maybe that's the year, the rebuild, we do a 6th season, which we have been doing quite a bit lately. But JSN being there, we've had him recently enough, but I mean, he's there. He doesn't cost a draft pick to get. Why wouldn't I at least attempt? I don't know if we'll have a chance at him, but we're number 1. If we go crazy, like a 4-year, like 80, we should be able to get him pretty, like, guaranteed. No? 4-year 76? I want to get that to the, like, the next green, but I don't know if we're going to be able to. We're going to try that 4-year 80 like I talked about. 4-year 80 still doesn't get him in the green, which is insane. 4-year 85, maybe? Or whatever the hell this is going to be. And we got money, and he's a superstar youngster. 4-year 88 gets him to the green, does it? It's green, but it's not the green we need. 4-year 100 for a slot receiver, though? Let's just try 90, or whatever the hell this number is. 92? That could be. All right, that could be enough. Let's hope it is. And then one of our other positions of need would have been like DT. I'm not really seeing that, though. DeForest Buckner, maybe. Still pretty goated at 33 years old. I don't know why I said it like that, but sure. Still pretty good. Why not? Maybe try to go for him. What's his... I mean, he's still pretty talented. Try someone new. DeForest Buckner's always been pretty good in sim, so let's go for the, once again, red interest DeForest Buckner. Let me just move the whole franchise over so he's, in a different state that has no income tax. I don't know if they have income tax in Arizona, I would imagine, because it's pretty wealthy, right? But then again, Florida doesn't, and they're wealthy. I don't freaking know, dude. That's not my business, all right? That's not what I know. I mean, I'm kind of just going to go crazy since it's the final year, debatably. Kind of let's do a 1-year 20, even though it's definitely an overpay for him. But once again, the name. Is it the named guys that matter more than the actual, like, skill of the player? I guess maybe we'll find out, kind of. And I think that's kind of what we needed mainly. So we're going to put both these on here. I kind of feel like JSN's not going to join us. Yeah, I don't know what it was. I just kind of knew. And a part of me, because he's a slot receiver, made me think maybe it's not the worst thing. But yeah, of course, JSN went to the Browns on a 4-year 57, turning down a 4-year 92. Because that is what happens in real life. This is true, EA. Players turn down that much money. That's how it goes. That's what they do. All right, we end up trading Marquise Brown and some random wide receiver with pick 6 to the Bengals for 28-year-old superstar Dev T. Higgins and a 3rd-round pick, which, I mean, they got a bunch of different wide receivers in general, but I added Marquise Brown because I was going to get rid of him anyways, and I was like, okay, if you guys want him, make yourselves feel better about the trade. I mean, I'm down. I don't really care, but... trading for other teams' wide receivers again, as we're just not really, like, finding, like, developable ones. Like, we've had Gaines, but he hasn't really had Dev Gaines, speaking of. But this should be a decent enough roster to maybe get it done this season. But the problem is Carson is still low overall because he was obviously just a rookie. And obviously some of our other guys are kind of regressing, and the edge has just been terrible. But T. Higgins in that offense, I mean, I feel like the offense needed the most help. Wide receiver Higgins is a massive upgrade at wide receiver. I don't know why I said wide receiver twice. And maybe this is finally the year we at least get to the playoffs, maybe do some damage, give ourselves a reason to do a 6th season, or chalk it up as we built an all right roster, but, the quarterback carousel was too much for us, and we just weren't winning games, and we quote-unquote failed. We're going back on the offensive here in the draft. Before the draft, we go for Sweat, who's an 89 overall, but he is 30 with only star. It'd be lovely to get him a dev up. But Goodrich, Newhouse, a 2nd, a 3rd, a 5th, and a 6th. For Mr. Josh Sweat. Obviously, those 2nd, 3rds, and whatnot were pretty damn high. But ultimately, our problem right now is edge rush, wide receiver. We, grab players that we don't have to develop. They're already there, and we still left just enough, probably, to maybe land another lineman or two, which we kind of need. So, I think that's a really good decision, as, once again, those positions just aren't developing, and, I've got to just start somebody there. I don't know who is worse. I think Felix was worse than Ojulari, if I'm not mistaken, so we're probably going to let Sweat take his spot. But yeah, we did put a little bit of money into this edge, but they can still develop even if they're not starting, so it's not the biggest deal in the world. But, something's got to give. We got to just keep starting new players every single season just to get something going. And like I said, I think the lower overall you are, the worse you do. It has nothing to do with, like, actual pass rush rating or anything like that. I might actually have to do, like, an experiment testing, like, overalls versus like actual top tier stats, right? Like it should be pretty like easily noticed, but it's kind of hard for some positions. But like if we made a DT or a DN that had like 99 everything, but they had no power move, no block shed, no finesse, but they were better than someone that had like nothing but those ratings, then that would just prove it, right? Like that would just straight up prove it. Like I don't care how smart of a defensive tackle or DN you are, if you suck with your pass rush or block shed moves, it's over. It's GG. Like the only play you can make is, get a swat at the right time or, read the screen. But those are just not situations that are as important. So we definitely have to test that out because for how many Maddens now I've been kind of thinking like, is it just straight up overall, right? I feel like that's what it is. All right, let's go right over to picks 3 or 6 in the third round. We have a bunch of different linemen and linebackers, and I'm pretty certain we'll see at least some of them there, as a lot of them were like 3 to 4. So just going to move right on in, and Winston looks pretty good. Burton looks pretty good too. I think Winston's going to be the guy, though. We have a couple of linebackers as well. I think Winston's the guy. A couple of A's in there makes sense, and I guess not. Let's move on to pick 6 in the fourth round. I don't really, I don't feel like we really need anything. We're kind of set. We kind of need the quarterback to play better, and the edge rush, like I said. Wow, all of those players are gone. Okay, well, I'm going to, have like a pretty unrealistic draft here and just trade these off. It usually starts to get a little unrealistic near the end of the rebuild because I'm kind of just like, we've done everything the right way. We've done it the way they want us to, and it's just not working out. And at this point, I'm just kind of like, do whatever I can to win. I know, ultra realistic. Zach Winston, the 73 overall. We got some future stuff. Yeah, this is one of those guys we've seen plenty of like really good players like this that are hidden, but he just wasn't hidden. Really, the kind of like star of the show were the trades we made more than the actual not free agents, draft picks. So we're hoping those guys are the ones that push us over the edge, and we still have a couple of extra draft picks going forward. Now we have an extra second, an extra fourth, and fifth. So that's looking okay, right? Like that's, if we need another season, we might be able to make one more trade for like some goons. All right, if EA doesn't want to allow us to compete, this could be the final season. Obviously, it's not the best team we've ever had, but a big factor is the fact that we've just lost so many games, right? We just lost so many games. You can't develop if your stats suck, right? If you're not having good seasons, you're not winning games, you're not making the playoffs, you're not winning awards, you're just not going to develop very quickly. I mean, how many times did Zaven Collins had a lot of tackles and whatnot, but still only an 85 overall, and a lot of that could be because we didn't make the playoffs. We didn't get those bonus XPs from playing extra games and the make the playoffs kind of XP that you get and all that. So we'll see what happens, but the front four looks pretty good. The linebackers aren't bad. DB's definitely the deepest in the league, and the overalls are pretty high. Receivers are pretty good. I mean, what does T. Higgins rank in the league? 15? Top 15 probably? Top 12? So Cooper's got to be like top 25, which you balance those out. It's at least a top 15, top 20 squad. Running back is probably top 5 just based on a 98 overall. Number 4. So, I mean, this is a decent team. So, if we don't at least make the playoffs, there's no point in doing a 6th season. It's just not. It's been a bit more of an iffy season than I expected, but we have some big re-signings. Higgins, that's not bad. Bailey, easy. Garrett, easy. Mullins, probably let go. Coolidge, let go. Glanton, you keep. McKnight, you keep. Sweat, we just paid him a lot, so I definitely at least get a 1 year out of him if I can. Cooper, I think he let go because he's going to regress hard. Jeromepkr let go because we have safeties backing him up, and Tooney probably retires, and if not, he's already regressed hard anyway. So the team is definitely going to take a step back, and I don't know if it could really take much more of a step back win-loss rate, as even now, right now, we're struggling. This could legitimately be a failed rebuild. I would love to at least make the playoffs here, though, and I should have done a 7-year there. That is a real big L, but, I just want to at least make the playoffs and maybe, do some damage. I don't know if anyone sees the Cardinals in the next couple of years really making the playoffs, especially winning, not winning a Super Bowl. So, I mean, to at least like overcome those expectations would be pretty cool in my opinion. And I guess it's L City. We go 9-8. EA's not having it. This is a failed rebuild. I don't know what to tell you. I feel like we've done enough. I ran a bunch of different schemes, ended up, finishing out with the Bengals there as they kind of turned us around a little bit, and I don't know, dude. I don't know. Carson was, I mean, yards are up there, touchdowns are okay, but the interceptions are still high. Little, who's almost a 99 overall, has only 1,200 yards, no matter what scheme I run. Gaines is the number one receiver, apparently, even though we had Amari Cooper and T. Higgins and a superstar Dev McBride. I don't know. I guess we have to do another rebuild of this team in the future or something. Pass rush was actually good for once, but still, 9-8. 9-8. I mean, sure, dude. Do we try another season anyways? Like, I feel like it would be just like, I mean, A, kind of pointless, and B, just like against what I said. I said we were going to only do another season if, made the playoffs, showed something. Didn't really show anything. Another kind of failed season. 9-8. I mean, EA's just kind of doing it to us at this point. But at the same time, I don't want to leave a rebuild this bad. We've done all right, but they just haven't developed, and in general, they haven't done any damage in the playoffs. I'd like to get to the championship round, but, I mean, how many seasons can we do? If Amari Cooper's still that high of an overall, I probably would re-sign him, but Carson's only an 80 overall. This is crazy, dude. I mean, he is pretty decent, to be fair, but I guess we'll try one more season. Why not? Did we actually look at all the dev-ups, speaking of, though? Cooper retired. Okay, so we'd need another wide receiver. We're going to have to trade for some big-name guy again. And then defensively, I think everyone that's dev'd here was already kind of dev'd. So, all right, we got to tag Sweat and then trade for a true wide receiver again. True number one type wide receiver. Let's go into it. Franchise tag's 32.6 mil. I offered him a 1-year 25. He didn't take it. Now he's willing to do a 2-year 37. How good was Buckner for us? I mean, at this point, even though he was good, yeah, I mean, we've seen, look at these numbers. So maybe it isn't based on overall. It is just kind of like predetermined, players. I don't know. I'm going to let Buckner go because I can always just give him a 1-year 15 or something because it's going to be the final season no matter what happens. But maybe we can find someone even higher of an overall. But we definitely, I would assume, need to trade for a wide receiver. We'll see if there's anyone here, though. Maybe we get lucky. Michael Pittman, a guy that I was actually looking at. Teams want Mullins, which, I mean, that's another drop-off there. Vita Vea. I mean, he's an X factor, but he's got to be pretty mid at this point. He's pretty mid to start the game, so 85 power move, 81 block shed's actually not terrible. Who the hell is Lockridge? How old is that guy? He's got to be pretty young, 25 years old. Let's take a look at what his numbers look like, I suppose. If he's playing well, I'm going to go for him, obviously. I mean, he's just not putting up numbers, and he's it's like Buckner's killing it, yet his overall is so low. I mean, I guess we just give Buckner back because he at least performed, even if he really shouldn't be performing. And let's just get him back and start him. It cost a lot. It took Averill, Roland, 2 firsts, 2 seconds to get the 29-year-old C.D. Lamb. That was a massive trade, but it is a massive addition to the squad. We now have 2 94-plus overall, 29-year-old wide receivers. Don't know if C.D. Lamb needs a contract. I don't really care. We'll just pay him if we have to. He looks insane. He's 99 everything, pretty much. So that is a massive gain, even though it took us a massive amount of capital to get there. I mean, if this isn't a playoff team, I mean, I guess I'm just happy with taking the L and saying, okay, well, you win, EA. You win. I wonder if I can trade off Childress for some sort of offensive lineman because don't think we're going to be able to draft anyone. So, I mean, there's just no point, right? What's our draft picks? We do have a 3rd, I guess, but I'd rather just trade for another kind of proven guy and just really make this final season like a Rams kind of blowout and just do the damn thing. The future of this team would be in so much trouble, but at what point do I care? Last season, we're blowing the team out of the water. I don't care. We're just selling the entire franchise here, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Our team is about as good as it'll ever get. We lose a linebacker, but Stokes is a superstar. He can play that position and, give us some value early on. I mean, the team is still young. It's just kind of I don't know about the money. That's really the worry is, are we going to be broke as hell and not be able to afford all of these players, especially ones that we actually traded a lot of capital for. So we're going to go right on to next season and see if we've done something. If this isn't a playoff team, I just give up completely. I just think the Cardinals are unsavable then. All right, I know that the quarterback is still kind of low and some of the linemen are a little mismatched, but this is the best we can do. If we're not winning games, the overalls are not going to go up, and we've traded almost all the draft picks around just to make this squad as good as possible. We added a 99 overall wide receiver. We added a 90 overall edge. That we maybe made one more trade. Maybe not. Oh, yeah, Elton Jenkins, I suppose, 87 overall guard. There's nothing more we can do, right? We have a 99 running back. If we don't at least make the playoffs, it's like a complete GG. But even if we make the playoffs, unless we get to the actual Super Bowl, I think it's just an L. I think, we don't take that many L's, but, sometimes it just happens. All right, this has been a little bit better of a season for sure. I also don't like the fact that everything is listening to us around us, right? I look over to my PC, and the first thing I see is Pro Football Focus. Week 11 fantasy football rankings. Dak Prescott, QB5, CeeDee Lamb, wide receiver 3. It's like, do you really need to listen to me? Do you really need to hear that I'm talking about CeeDee Lamb and then show me something on him? Like, can I just, live without you, spying on me for once? Also, I don't know if you see this, but the contracts are getting expensive, but more importantly, the players are not liking us. They do not want to stick around. Some of these contracts are pretty low, so I'll take the old lineman back, I suppose, especially since we don't have the draft picks we normally would to be able to, facilitate replacements. So 5-year 42, I don't know. I don't know what I just did there. Jeromepkr probably goes. Sweat, if he wants to do a 1-year 22 or something, let's be honest. We ruined the team at this point, right? We built up something and then just destroyed it right in front of everyone's eyes. But we kind of, once again, had, no choice. And the real thing that sucks as well is our quarterback that we're using isn't even a first-rounder, so we'd have to pay him, straight up. So the contracts did not go well, but I think the season should go well. And we do make the playoffs at 12-5. We did not get the bye week. I don't know if the Niners did either, to be fair, but let's take a look. Please tell me they didn't. Okay, they didn't, in fairness. But, yeah, running back's going to have to be tagged, which might actually be cheaper than what he was asking for. He's basically almost asking for 20 mil per. I think it's because the interest was red. And then also, what else did we have? The old lineman didn't want to re-sign, which, he was kind of getting expensive anyway, so I can't really worry too much about that because we have other guys that need to be paid going forward. But, yeah, this team would be in a little bit of an issue of a spot, but it seems to work out, right? We make the playoffs, and Carson goes completely off. Little yards per carry. He's 99 overall EA. 3 1,000-plus yard receivers, at least, and Gaines wasn't half bad either. He'd be another free agent. O-line was pretty bad, though, I got to admit. We're giving him 12 sacks with a center. Holy crap. Edge wasn't great, but DTs were pretty great. And then kicking, I don't know who the hell that is. Oh, yeah, that's the generational. He's generationally bad. What is that? That is so bad. Any award wins? I thought it was ours. So much red, but none of the red that we want. Either way, we've made the playoffs, thankfully. Probably going to lose right out the gate to the Bears, but as long as we're in here, I guess it was worth trying another season. Let's go. I kind of just want, a singular win, to be honest. We give up 14 to the Bears. EA, stop. Stop joking. Stop trolling, bro. How? I don't even know, dude. We still could win, but this is kind of a joke. I honestly don't know what's going on. We're the better team by quite a bit, and yet here we are. And we're running the ball with, no clock left. I'm not even sure what I'm doing here. And then the clock goes, another 4,000 freaking ticks. 4th and 9. And that's not bad. And we're going to get the touchdown. Wow. That is, the ultimate clutch play. I love how the freaking crowd is still, yelling, despite the fact that, they just got gut punched. It's oh, wait a minute. That was a 4th and 9 conversion. Good throw power. Gets there. Got to get the onside kick, though. I really don't know how to kick these this year. I was told to just kick. Was it strong onside with power? I'm pretty sure that's what someone told me. I don't know, but we're going to do it. Strong onside with power. Oh! No shot! What? There's no way. There's actually no way. I can't choke this. Like, I can't, but I will. Oh, what a throw. I guess not a good throw. I really wish it would have just called a penalty. It wasn't even a penalty, but I wish they would have. Oh, my God. I would have lived with that penalty. I would have taken that penalty every day of the week. You could not guilt me into not taking that. I don't care. This is the touchdown play, but they are backed off a little bit. Might be a Higgins look. I kind of panicked. CeeDee Lamb again. Man, that's really good D by who's that? Brisker. Okay, I can't sell this hard. It's like, it's actually impossible. The problem is I'm going for plays that are too deep, and I'm going to go with another one. But I am kind of setting this up more of a McBride situation, but CeeDee Lamb could get that shot too. Little predetermined. Wow, good job, McBride. So up to the line, 4th and 1. Come on, hurry up. Hurry up! They won't let me hike it. Oh. All right, I was kind of just seeing that as like, okay, we get the first down, it'll be a long field goal, but at least we got a field goal. And instead, we actually got out of bounds off of a big run. Maybe I was getting a little crazy there, like wanting the ball to be hiked, but like, really? Like, why is it taking so long to hike that ball? T. Higgins, there's no way he scores on this. And that's all right. I was going to take that shot to CeeDee Lamb, but I didn't really like it. I think he kicked the field goal now, and they do recommend it. There's no way we win this game. Obviously, like, we still have to... No, that kick bar was so fast. Nah, dude, I'm not doing it. I'm letting the AI do it. I'd rather let the AI lose my crazy comeback than for me to miss that field goal. He hit it. Thank you. I appreciate it. 4th and 5. Really, like, our defense has been so bad all game long. This is like a joke, though. Like, it's actually insane how hard this win is, like, to get. It's kind of crazy. Speed of gains. Why do I feel like we're just going to get locked up? T? Wow, he kind of got blasted, though. I know it's T, but, like, I really thought he didn't get that. Come on, Cardinals. Like, what is going on? Like, why is this such a challenge? Thank you. And, like, the Bears get back down the field in, like, 2.2. I mean, you guys just seen how easy it was for them to get down the field, right? Like, I kind of have no choice. I kind of have no choice but to go for this. All right, McBride. I kind of want the running back in the backfield. Can I get this man blocking for me? Thank you. Do I like this? We'll see. And it's picked. I sold. Not as bad as this game sold at trying to be a good game, but... Oh, man. Like, they can't be stopped. That's why I went for it. Like, that's why I went for it. They can't be stopped. This game, I don't understand. I don't know. It is what it is. I don't care anymore. Did what I could personally, and, you know, EA just does what EA does. 92 overall versus 86. We give up 38 points, technically 41, and we just get smoked on. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't feel like Fields is good in this this sim universe. Like, there's no way he's good. There's just no way. Let's see. Literally like our guy, but he's like 5 years older. Cool. Season stats, 18 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. Don't get me wrong, it's not a bad ratio. 3,600 yards. Puts up, what, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions on us? Like, what? That'd be like 50-some touchdowns on the season, or very close to, right? I don't even know, dude. I've just accepted that the Cardinals are not destined to win in Madden, and EA has a vendetta against them to not win. 92 overall. The average team was like a 90, like an 85, 86, as the Ravens win a crazy high-scoring game of bird battlage against the Eagles. DevOps Carson, he was only star before, right? So he did go up to superstar, but you know, short accuracy is pretty bad, which may have played a little bit of a factor in his sim stats for the most part. But then again, he had a really good season last season. We'll take a look at Little. Don't really care too much about Lamb because he just kind of got here. Little, very good juke ability, but just like he played like a regular random running back. Like he played like a backup running back. If you really like want to look at the numbers, T. Higgins, you know, he got to an X Factor, which is very clutch. So if you have enough money, which it seems like we do because we kind of paid these guys up for another 4 years pretty much, The offense should be in really good shape. It's just you may be losing some linemen, and we don't really have that many draft picks to kind of replace that with. But the team is far from like, oh, well, it's screwed. It's over. It's, GG. But, yeah, it would be hard to add new talent every single season like we were with guys like Lamb and Higgins and, Elton Jenkins and Sweat and all that. And you're probably about to lose Sweat, but it is what it is. Let's take a look at Swain, who finally got to start for the first season of his career. 84 zone, pretty damn athletic. Would like to see him get more chances. Baker would obviously be a guy that you let to go to free agency, and he dropped really hard in overall, so there's no point in even looking at him. Motley, another guy that would start for this season, upcoming 84 zone. Don't know what kind of contract situation we'd be looking at with those guys, but at least you would have names for the following year. Stokes, obviously pretty raw. You'd probably have to look to replace linebacker there as well. The depth on the team isn't looking great either. It's a team that really, like last season, maybe the next season would be the window. And that's basically it. Pretty balance, good balance from Zaven Collins as far as like an 88 overall goes. Probably like the highest like important ratings for an 88 overall I've seen at linebacker. 89 block shed for Glanton, and his zone's not even that bad. Cornerbacks, I guess I'll look at Newsome, even though he's once again a guy that almost always develops in game. 97 man, 85 zone, pretty fast. It's not 29, but he is superstar dev. I think we ended up paying him a 2-year deal, which is perfectly fine, obviously. And then Mr. Keenan Garrett, 27-year-old superstar. Very similar, just a little bit slower. That's a really good corner score. I mean, this is a good team, dude. I don't know what to tell you. Felix Anudike Uzomah is 27 now, and he's 89 finesse, but we weren't really seeing too much from the D-line. It took like ultra squad stacking to finally see something, and the edge still couldn't get to double digits consistently. Ojulari with 94 finesse. And then we'll look at the DT, Mr. Bailey, who is very good. Very good. 96 finesse, 88 block shed. One of the most balanced, like, DTs. He's wearing 53, which is something, but one of the most balanced DTs that I've, like, seen in a while. And that's coming from a guy that's, like, kind of low, right? Like, he was an X Factor, but he was a lower overall. He wasn't, like, a generational player. And then Dylan Williams. I mean, all this really is showing me is that you should never try to develop a running back. It took a pick 6 overall. Was it pick 6 or was it pick 2? I don't remember. Overall pick to grab a running back that's best career season was 1,247 yards. Yes, the touchdowns are up there, but like I've seen like an 82 overall Nick Chubb do better than that. So you just got to find a proven real-life running back when you're doing these rebuilds, which really, it's unfortunate because it kind of like throws out the spontaneous, I almost said spontaneity, I don't even know what the hell that is, but spontaneousness, if you will, because it's like you got to go for a guy that you've seen do it multiple times, whereas like a random running back's never going to develop into a true god. 99 overall, generational running back was so mid. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this one, maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, really appreciate your continued support on the channel. Maybe follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, second channel, PKR Plays for non-Madden content. And I have a couple of your guys' ideas still for some sort of Saturday challenge rebuild, so keep them coming if you guys have any ideas, though. And, yeah, tomorrow should be a Texans franchise video, maybe Spider-Man as well, and then obviously 3 videos on Saturday. That's about it. Thanks for watching. I'll let you guys come back for the next video. But until next video, see ya!